What's up, YouTube? Just wanted to do a little quick video on this 2005 Nissan Altima rear motor mount because I looked online and I couldn't really see anything for the rear one. Everybody seems to do the front three, but everybody skips the rear one because it seems like it's so hard to get to, but it's really not. So let me show you the way I do it. The way I do it works, but I was just looking online to see if there was an easy way, but I couldn't find anything. Well, an easier way. So what you gotta do is, of course, jack the engine up, put it on jack stands. Okay. What I did was I removed the passenger side motor mount first, then the transmission mount. Took that one off. The only one that's still on the car is the front one. Where is it? There it is. The front one is the only one that's still on the car. So I left that one on. I'm doing that one last because that one's really easy anyway. Now the back one is a tricky one. You come in here. Let me get you guys some light. You come in here and there's a plate over here. There's a plate. You have to remove this plate first. It goes like this. And there's two 14mm screws on that. Well, nuts on that. Take those off, that's easy. Then, once it's out of the way, you put a block of wood under the engine, jack it up, inch or two, then come in here for your two, where are they at? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. You come in here for your two 17mm bolts. They have a nut on the other side of them. Where's that? Or do they? Yeah, they do. There's a nut. There's two nuts on those. You take your ratchet and socket, 17mm socket, put it on this side first. On that side first, the head side, and then you go on the other side with a ratchet wrench. By the way, if you guys don't have any of those, you are severely need to pick up a set because they are awesome. These ratchet wrenches, you know, they are awesome. They are awesome. Get you a 17mm one of those, put it on the opposite side. The opposite side to hold the nut, and then put your ratchet on this side, crank them both loose. Keep in mind, you gotta take a little bit of weight off the engine by jacking it up. That makes it easier, because otherwise you're gonna be here all day. So take those two out. You got one in the front and one in the back. Same process for both of them. Come on, in focus. There we go. One in the front, one in the back. Take those two out. Take those two out. The nuts slide it to the side. Then you have one thing to keep in mind too. This bolt in the front here is gonna hit against the transmission like this. It's gonna hit when you're trying to pull it out. So you need to just loosen that one up, but wait to pull it out. Just go back to that one. Push it all the way, you know, back in first. Keep it out of the way. Then you're gonna go up top. And you're gonna go up top to your top one here. Your top one there, which is this long guy, and that was a little bit tight. So what you could do with that one is same process, but you probably need to jack the car up high as possible, high as you can without using a lift, you know, or if you have access to a lift, it's even better. But if you don't have one, jack it up as high as you can and go in there with your 17mm socket and ratchet, and the nut on the end of that one is welded to the frame, to the bracket. So you don't have to worry about a nut on that side. Go in there with 17mm, and if you need a little bit more leverage, because you can't get an impact in there or anything like that, you need a little bit more leverage, take your ratchet and put a pipe on the end of it, you know, but you got to have the car off the ground high enough to clear the pipe from hitting the ground, you know, so do that. Take that loose, and if you jack the engine up, once it's loose, if you jack the engine up a little bit more, it should twist out by hand if you can get it loose enough. If it's not rusty, you don't live up north somewhere or something like that. But I'm down here in the south, so it came right out for me. You can just twist it out by hand the rest of the way. Get that one out, and once that's out, you have all 3 bolts loose. Then jack the engine all the way up as high as you can. The engine by itself, not the car, just the engine. And once you get enough room from the transmissions out of the way high enough, once it's high enough, that bottom bolt I told you about earlier will pull right out. After that, you're loose. You're loose. Then you just gotta wiggle it. Well, you got 2 bolts, 2 10mm on the back there. I forgot about those, but those are easy to get to if you have a ratchet also, or a wrench, whatever. Get some light in there. There's 2 10mm up top there. Can't get any light on. But anyway, there's 2 10mm bolts in there holding the power steering line to the motor mount, and you have to remove those as well. They're not too hard to get to. I mean, once you've got a little bit of playroom like this, you can get right to them. They're right there. You can probably see them. But those are easy to get to. They're not too hard once you got the motor mount loose. But this should be the same. This is for the 4-cylinder 2.5. This is not for the V6. The V6 is a lot tighter in the back. So good luck, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'll try to help you guys as best as I can. Peace.